Let's return to that story about rents, because today is the day that rents fall due for many retailers. A tough time, as we've been discussing. A lot of CVAs, you'll have heard that phrase recently, as retailers try to renegotiate rents with landlords. It's called a company voluntary arrangement. Let's speak to Jon Fletcher, who's Director of Finance and Commercial Property at the British Property Federation. He joins us this morning. Jon, good morning to you. Good morning. So I was just highlighting some of those that have been in the headlines lately. We've heard, of course, BHS failed to come to a deal. We now know Arcadia Group managed to come to a deal. It's a tough time for retailers, and they're looking, quite frankly, at what they're paying in rent, because there's no guarantee they'll make that money back.
As you say, it is a tough time for retailers, dealing with all of the challenges that the online retail and changing consumer habits are throwing at them. That's why we're seeing so many CVAs. It's a way to get businesses through the tough times and back onto an even keel. And the first thing I'd say is that landlords are supportive of the rescue culture that CVAs are there for. You know, retailers are our customers. We're no more keen than anybody else is to see store closures and jobs lost and boarded up high streets. So at the same time, landlords are there representing their investors, many of whom are pension funds who manage your money, my money, that of millions of other people around the country. And landlords really need to do what's right for them, which is why CVAs are such a big deal for landlords.
Yeah, and it's hugely traditional, isn't it, the fact that rents are collected quarterly. This is something that dates back decades. Why does it need to be so far in advance? Why can't landlords collect it monthly?
So it's like you say, it's something that has drawn up over time. But you know, looking into the benefits of monthly collection versus quarterly collection, it doesn't really represent that much of a cash flow advantage to the retailer, and it gives landlords and, like I say, their investors a certain amount of security about the rental income that is likely to be coming in. And landlords are long-term investors. They are investing on behalf of pension funds with a very long outlook as well, and so it provides comfort to them and ultimately to you and me that the money will be coming in to fund our pensions.
But do you think this is contributing to some of the problems we see on the high street? Because essentially what you're saying is that retailers have to take a gamble. They've got to take a punt every quarter about whether they're going to make enough money over the coming quarter to justify what they're paying in rent. Whereas actually if it was monthly, they might say, well, look, I think I'm okay for the next 30 days. I can afford to pay it. But I take your point that landlords also need the security too. There's got to be a happy medium.
That's right, there does, and you know, like I said, retailers are our customers. Landlords want retailers to succeed, and what you're seeing is the market changing, both by rents falling quite dramatically, more than 50% over the last 10 years, leases becoming a lot shorter, so 5-year leases with a break, an option to finish the lease at 2 or 3 years is absolutely the norm nowadays, and you're seeing an increasing element of turnover rent as well, so the amount that retailers have to pay to landlords being directly linked to the performance of their stores, which really completely aligns the incentives of landlords and retailers to make sure that things work out the best for both of them.
Jon, it's good to talk to you. Thanks for your insight there. Jon Fletcher, who's from the British Property Federation. More from us. Jamie's back this afternoon with all your